Welcome to the AI Innovators Interview Series with special guest Martina Matthews. My name is Neil Brown, your host and moderator today, and Executive Director of the AI Leaders Council. With that, I'm very pleased to introduce our AI innovator, Martina Matthews, a founder, consultant, and educator of her current company, Miss ChatGPT101, and a long history of, not that long, but some great background with tech startups, many out of the Bay Area, including Chegg and the education tech market, Life 360, Sittercity. I think Sittercity was out of Chicago, Martina, if I recall.
That's right.
And so some really great experience. And now she's applying that to her new venture, Miss ChatGPT 101. Martina earned an MBA from Governor State University, also in the Chicago area, and a bachelor's as well. So, Martina, welcome and thank you for joining us today. And let's take it away. So, question one, please share a little bit about yourself, your many roles, as well as an overview of Miss ChatGPT 101.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Neil. I started my tech startup journey almost 20 years ago with Chegg.com, and going through that definitely solidified my interest in startups specifically. So from there, I stayed in the world of tech startups with a focus on operations and customer support and customer experience. And after about 15 years of that, I decided I was ready for my next challenge. And with that, I started just learning everything I didn't know. And with that, the public release of ChatGPT happened. And so just out of normal tech curiosity, I started playing with ChatGPT, and I immediately started thinking through how this could have affected my day-to-day operations in my roles prior. And I thought, wow, this is this is the jackpot for everyone in business. And so I just started exploring more and more. I decided to be an independent business consultant. And what was actually super surprising to me was that so many people had not yet used any type of LLM. And their first question in meeting me was, I know I need to do something with AI because that's what I'm seeing in the media, but I have no idea where to start. And 20 out of 20 of my first clients, this was their question. And this was winter of 2024 into spring of 2025. So this is very new. And in spring of 2025, I decided I'm going all in on AI literacy with Miss ChatGPT 101. So I'm working with individuals, nonprofits, SMBs, educators on all sorts of discussions around what it is, how to use it responsibly, and how to really incorporate it in their day to day. So that has been the last several months, and I'm learning something every day from these folks. But it's definitely been rewarding.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for that. Very cool. So very recent too. So you've been just about this time last year and going into the spring. So our second question you kind of related to, but how did you first begin working with AI and what sparked your interest in applying it to your career? So was there some time before that, before you started your most recent startup that you were working with AI?
Sure. So I have a bachelor's in computer science, so the concept and the terminology of AI isn't new to me, right? AI isn't new, and I also think some people don't realize that. Um, it's just that to really leverage AI just a few years back, you needed deep, deep, deep technical expertise. And so if you're working within a company and you have sophisticated engineers, you're pitching to have your project on the roadmap to have that work done. So, leaning into the power of AI was always a gate kept by product and dev time, right? Because those resources are always finite. So when ChatGPT became public, like that was really the first time that I was able to do hands-on work with it. And anybody that's explored it from the launch, I mean, the advancements 1 month to the next are wild. So just continue to explore, continue to have conversations with different organizations to understand, okay, how can I help you apply something AI that's going to be low effort and high impact. And so really taking it into prompt engineering, there's so much value in just teaching folks how to prompt. Still to this day, people don't feel confident in their prompt skills. And that alone can save folks 5 to 10 hours a week. And who wouldn't want that back in their week?
Yeah, no question. So a lot of your early effort then is teaching people about effective prompting and such.
Yes, that's where it starts, and I think that's an easy way for people to feel comfortable exploring because it's just words. You can't break anything, you can't break any of your current processes, you can't break any of your workflows, but I think it starts getting people thinking in the right type of mindset of, okay, there's this step-by-step process, and here's where AI can make things faster. Once people can grasp that, then you can start to layer in more complex workflows and agentic AI. And then there's a whole new world of content creation that is beneficial to more than just kind of the Instagram influencers or TikTok influencers.
You bet. Yeah, and your company, I know when we were chatting in prep for this, you're certainly working with companies and presidents and teams and such, but you're also doing a lot at your school. You're on the College of Business Board of Advisors, and you're teaching a lot of students as well, aren't you?
Yes, so working with students and they have their own questions. They want to know how does this how does this change what I've learned? I mean, the big question is, does this actually void everything I just learned over the last 1 to 4 years working towards my degree? Am I now like irrelevant? So that's actually a big conversation for like engineering and science students. And then for anybody that's in a non-technical major, they're still trying to figure out, do I need to care about AI? So there's conversations all over the map. And so I think for students specifically, showing them a responsible way that they can use it for their studies, no matter what their major is. And then also talking to them about how AI is affecting different jobs, different industries. So if they have kind of a dream job in mind, it's would be amazing to be able to share a little bit with them about, okay, this is how it is currently or evolving, or this is how we can imagine it might evolve leveraging AI. And so it's just getting those conversations going.
Right. And I think you're also helping them with their digital footprint. I think you used that term, didn't you?
Yes, digital footprint is a big one. Working with some universities or just talking with some of their professional development faculty, sometimes digital footprint isn't even in the curriculum. So when they're talking about this is how you create a great resume, this is how you communicate during an interview, etc., they're also missing this huge opportunity, which I mean, I think it's almost a non-negotiable these days. You need to build a personal brand. You need to have, I think, a LinkedIn presence. If you're not on LinkedIn, create your GitHub portfolio or create a website, which anyone can create a website in 90 seconds using AI. It doesn't matter what your focus is. If you want to be a cosmetologist, okay, great. You still should showcase your work and you should do that on all the social media channels like you probably are already doing, but you should also create a website with those same
Right.
pictures and photos and videos and make yourself even more accessible and findable by having a website. And again, 90 seconds to get that.
Ouch. That's part of
For
our
free, for
revenue
free.
stream. No, stop, stop. Okay. Um, well, tell us then our next question. As you work with companies, the company end of it adopting AI, what are some of the most meaningful impacts that you've witnessed?
Sure. So first, the most meaningful impact is just when you can see the transition of the hesitancy going away, the openness coming in, and then they're confident to now start to actually adopt some of these strategies. When I'm working with a company and I'm working with different teams, I like to start with their operational workflow because so much of that can be applied not only in their current job but also their next job, and they can share this information with their colleagues. Having been in executive leadership for 15 years, I had to do monthly reporting. And as part of that monthly reporting, I had to do my analysis. I had to create my key takeaways per department, like what are they going to care about. I had to draft my meeting notes. I had to draft my email communication to the different departments. All of that all in would take me about a week because I'm working on it in between meetings, trying to get it done, but a week on a monthly basis. And so now, if you leverage AI, you can really cut that down. You can really have a first draft of all of that prepped for you to review on a time schedule. You can say on the third week of the month, I want this data source to be analyzed and I need this put together, including the PowerPoint presentation, right? Which, if you are not a marketing person or a design person, most people do not love putting together decks. Is it even? Is this the right color? Do I have this image? Where do I find it? Etc. But now you can really lean in and have a first draft of all of these things ready for you to review. And I truly believe your time is probably spent to dropping it down to less than half a day, including all of your deep dives of what you need to look into. That's wild. And I don't know, any person that would really want to hold on to that in a manual way. So walking folks through those types of things, helping them get comfortable, helping them know, okay, you still need to review it. I'm not, you still need to make sure this is accurate, but that is significantly less time than you having to do this from scratch.
Right. And I know you have a PMP, a project management certification as well. So you are trained to look at workflows and processes and things of that nature. So,
Well, I love a good efficient workflow.
so that's and might you also be looking for problems that need solving and using AI to help with problem solving or bottlenecks and things of that nature.
Yes, so I think anybody that deals with blank page syndrome, right? So not knowing where to start, you're just kind of frozen. Using AI as your thinking partner is a big win and applies to every single role. We all have problems we are trying to solve in our day to day, whether it's professional or personal. And to have essentially a mentor slash advisor that is available to you 24/7, that's what an LLM can be, right? So this is your sounding board. And you don't have to agree what they say, but it's having the conversations, going back and forth and getting some ideas. And when you have a starting point, sometimes that's all you need to then run with it from there.
So you don't have to talk to your spouse anymore about work and bounce ideas on.
No, so no more glazed eyes and hidden yawns. You
Oh,
just you
boy.
just talk to your LLM. I mean, I have named
Uh, that's
my ChatGPT Chatina, and we have a ton of
oh,
conversations on a daily basis.
oh, I love it. Chat Tina. Okay, that's a good one. All righty. Well, that leads nicely into our next. What are a few nuggets or learnings about implementing AI initiatives that might help other AI professionals and innovators? So Chatina is definitely a nugget that I'm not going to forget, but are there others?
Yes. So I think the key for anybody who's going to start doing anything with AI is you need to start with the problem first. Don't lean into an app or a software that, oh, I hear I need this. No, think through like what are your opportunities for efficiency, or what are your opportunities where you can truly leverage the power of AI. And then from there, you know, educate yourselves before you automate. So don't be so quick to trust this automated workflow, because it's not that simple. You do need to build it, you do need to review it, and then you need to get comfortable with what doesn't need review versus what does. For example, people using it to automatically reply to emails, right? Maybe the step is actually to have it sort your emails with the priority and draft a response, but then you review it before anything is sent. So there's different ways. It doesn't have to be full throttle to start. And then lastly, just remembering AI is a tool. It's a tool. So it's it's not likely that you're going to put something into ChatGPT and it's going to give you the perfect answer back. It's a tool. It's going to get you closer to it. I think it gets you 80% of the way there for any type of copywriting or um, just proofing and outlining, summarizing. But take that 80%, act like that's your personal assistant, and then do that final review, do the final, your touch on it, and then move it on through.
Wow, that's neat. Thank you for articulating that. How should organizations measure AI success? What are some of the top use cases? We talked about impacts already. Are there KPIs for API that you would for AI that you would recommend?
Yes, I with my focus on operational efficiency, being able to quantify how much time is saved per workflow or task. In every role, people should have an understanding of a time or time range it takes to complete a workflow or task. And so this should shave that time down significantly. In conjunction with that, you do need to still keep a mark on the quality and the consistency. So again, these are already existing metrics, but you should see them improve. A big one for any type of AI related update in your business is the adoption rate and the active usage rate. And this goes back to, don't just purchase some AI tool because you want to check the box and say your company is using AI. What is the adoption rate? Who is using it? And I'm going to do a call out on so many businesses that have Copilot as part of their Microsoft suite, and they're paying for this as part of their licenses for their employees, and employees aren't using it. So I've worked with businesses where they have been paying for this for months and months and months, like this full year to start. And here we are in November, and I'm talking to their employees and they're saying they are not using it. They are just Xing it out and moving on. That's not okay. Um, and I think, the last piece of this is any type of culture survey when employees are not drowning in mindless work, they are happier and they tend to stay at a company longer and they tend to want to continue to learn and build their skill set if they have the time to do so. And if they do that, that's not only a win for that individual, that's a win for that company.
So that gets back to employee satisfaction, retention, lower recruitment and hiring costs and all that.
Yep. And even, internal growth. I mean, people love working at companies where they see there's that opportunity for growth. They love those stories. And if you have a continuous funnel of that, you're going to be a company that people want to work at and stay at and grow at.
Yeah, I agree. Good point. Oops. Well, let's move on to your crystal ball question. What do you see as the most important opportunities or challenges for AI in business over the next few years? It's moving very rapidly, correct?
It is, yes. So definitely making sure businesses are focused on upskilling their entire company. And then also I have a high focus on higher ed specifically. And so making sure in addition to the students, the faculty also it's the upskilling, it's the getting people to understand what it means to be AI literate. No one can say there is not a place for AI, whether it's in my business or in my curriculum. It's the wrong outlook. So it is about the future of work and the future of learning. What does it look like? And we can't just wait for us to get to whatever the final state is. We're in it. So everybody needs to start being open and and adopting it.
So training, onboarding, all very important. Uh, I heard the other day, it's got to have executive buy-in though too. A CEO was asked if they're deploying AI, and he said, "Yes, we bought this software," and no, and then it turned out no one was using it, like you said. So,
Yeah, and I think, I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be a revamp of processes or actually changing their business, even if they just start with the individual's output, right? So just the day-to-day operational efficiency, even if they start there, it frees up the capacity of the smart people that they hired. So if they free up the capacity to then those people can think through new opportunities, new revenue generating opportunities, this is the win. But if you have people busy fighting with PowerPoint slides, that's what you're passing up on. So you want a pretty PowerPoint or do you want more revenue?
wow. Well, I like a pretty PowerPoint, but yes, I do understand. Wow. Well, Tina, thank you so much for your valuable time and your perspective. You've got that dual perspective of both business and education, which I would think intuitively that these 20 somethings in college the and teenagers and such, they're already pretty technically literate. They pick up on this stuff pretty fast, right? Whereas maybe the older middle managers or executives, even someone my age, to be honest, would not embrace it as quickly. So I think you're seeing all that in your day to day. And but thank you so much for taking your valuable time and really enjoyed this. And we'll have this published, and for the world to see your great experience and knowledge. So, thank you again today, and great success closing out this year, and then 2026 is going to be. I think it's going to be really good for you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Neil.
All right, take care then. Thank you.